Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the February 28th Daily Inspirational Message. The condensed version is 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and then make a couple comments on the message, and I trust it will assist both of us on our journeys. Okay, here we go. The title, Interrupting Our Illusions. What do I want versus what do I really want? Paragraph 1. The ego has programmed us to want what it wants us to want. When in the unconscious state, we think we want what the ego wants. Today, let us practice setting aside the ego's constant demands by asking ourselves, what do I really want? The ego is constantly telling us what we want, but what do we really want? By telling us what we want, in essence, it has control over our thinking and thus over our lives. It tries to convince us that what we want, something it has to offer, or that we need to behave in a certain manner to achieve one of its illusionary goals. But being illusionary in nature, there's nothing the ego wants that we really want. We know this because after all is said and done, the ego never delivers the peace of mind, joy, clarity, and connection to our source that we really desire. Paragraph 2. Today, let us recall that we have been programmed by the ego to want what it wants since we were babies. Thus, many times, what we think we want is not really what we want. Because of this lifelong program, the ego usually becomes our first responder to any situation or interaction. It usually ends up answering for us, and thus we end up living its life, not ours. This leads to feeling unfulfilled. Today, let us interrupt this program and take back control of our own minds. As we do so, we take back control of our own lives. For example, you may want to argue a point and be right, but what you really want is to be happy, respected, and at peace. What we really want is to be, in our own unique ways, a reflection and representative of love, of our Creator here on earth. Okay. Interrupting our illusions, what do I want versus what do I really want? Okay, this is a key question. It's a key question for this following reason. Imagine you come from a place of perfect love, and when you enter into the physical form, you forget this. And so you begin to learn whatever it is that they teach you. Your family can teach you certain things, like maybe you have to be the best student in class, or you have to do the best in sports, and then your friends teach you, well, you have to be the guy who gets on the girls, or maybe you make fun of people, and your friends laugh, and they think that's great, and so you're programmed to be sarcastic or what have you, and then your society tells you, well, you need to have a great job, and to make a lot of money, and to have a lot of power. And so we've been programmed with these ideas that are not really aligned with our true loving nature, which comes from Source. And so we buy into all this programming from our friends, from our families, from society. That's not really the truth in us. And so when we act in that manner, when we act through the ego's programming, we don't feel like we're doing what we want to do. It's kind of like the first responder is our programming. And so that's why I don't want you to condemn yourself when you're being less than loving in nature. When you're being less than loving in nature, less than your true essence, who you truly are, that's just your programming. That's what you've been programmed, how you've been programmed to think. I think I want that job because it gives me that money. Or I think I want to be sarcastic and funny because that makes my friends laugh. It ups me in their minds. But you don't want that. You don't want to be sarcastic at other people's expense. That's not who you truly are. That's not what love truly is. Sure, humor is a part of love, but not at people's expenses. Not by putting other people down. Sure, having purpose, it's an expression of love. It's an aspect of love. And so you want that job that brings you purpose. But the ego says, no, you gotta have that money, you gotta have that power. But it's not about that. But if you find yourself in that place, don't punish yourself for that. You've just been programmed to buy into that fairy tale as true. Why? Because it was reinforced over and over again by your family, by your friends, by society. And so when you're stuck in the mindset of the ego, when the ego is answering for you, telling you what you want, that's the time when you have to ask yourself, okay, this is what I think I want, but what do I really want? What you really want is you want to be in a state of peace. You want to be joyous. You want to feel fulfilled. You want to have a passion in life. You want to have a purpose. You want to be the light of the world that God created you to be. That's what you really want. You want to align with love in each and every moment in interaction and offer only that. But, again, our programming veils that truth over. And so don't punish yourself when you or others are veiling their true nature, what they really want. People are just going to be reacting as they've been programmed to react. Sometimes in a loving fashion, and many times not in a loving fashion. Many times in a fashion that's self-interested. It's not one of service. It's one of service of self. So you want to be of service to others. That's how your light begins to shine brighter and brighter. And so today, let us practice asking ourselves that question. Whenever we are reacting, it's usually a program response, usually. The ego answers first and loudest, usually. And so we have to continuously deprogram ourselves. And we do that today by practicing asking ourselves, what do I really want? Because the ego will say immediately, well, I want this job because of the money that it brings. Okay, what do I really want? I really want to feel fulfilled. I want to really feel like I have a purpose in this life. So let me find a job that actually helps provide that instead of some paper and coins. And so today, let us simply practice doing that. Practice remembering that many times when we are feeling unfulfilled, when we're feeling like we have a lack of peace or a lack of joy in our lives, it's not because we're bad, it's not because we're not spiritual enough or not wise enough, it's simply because we have been programmed to think we want something else other than what God wants for us. And God wants for us to be the light of the world, to be of service to others, to offer others our compassion, our kindness, our forgiveness, our generosity, our charity. That's what we truly want. That's what truly fulfills us. And so find your own purpose. What is it that you're really here for? And we all have a unique purpose. So just find yours. Find what brings you peace. Find what brings peace to your mind and joy to your heart. Find what makes you expand. And don't buy into the first response that you might have. Question it. If it doesn't bring you peace, question your first response. If it doesn't bring you joy, question your first response. If you don't feel passionate about it, question your first response. If you feel like saying no because that's loving to yourself right now, but you say yes because you've been programmed to say yes, question your first response. Keep questioning your first response until it begins to align you with the truth in you, with the light in you, with the love in you. And as you do so, you'll start to figure out, okay, what's me and what's not me. Is this that I've been taught by society, my friends or family, is this really what's real about me, about why I'm here? Or is there something within me that I can look into and then find, align with, and then share with this world? And so we do that today. We question our first response when it doesn't align us with our source, with our true nature. And we don't punish ourselves for that first response, but we practice correcting it when it doesn't align with who we truly are. The love in us, the eternal in us, the God in us. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you can be so kind as to like, comment, or share, it would help with the listening process, and it might help somebody question their experience and take back control of their own minds by aligning their mind and their decision making with love, with who we truly are. And again, if you made it this far, thank you very much for your time. I love you very much, and God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.